We're live. We live. We live. Okay, no, I'm kidding. Um, so obviously we're gonna wait for people to hop in before we get started. But today we're gonna talk about Facebook and some tips moving forward with regards to the new changes to the algorithm. So if you guys are interested in that, if you're watching the replay, you guys can go ahead and fast forward if you're just trying to get straight to the content. Though sometimes our openers, not sometimes, pretty much all the times our openers have some pretty valuable information about offers we're giving away, free training, stuff like that. So you might want to stick around and watch that too. But again, we're going to talk about Facebook. Already in first. John Doe, much appreciated, even though I'm pretty sure that's not your real name. But no, so yeah, we're going to talk about some Facebook marketing updates that are coming, some new strategy that I've actually kind of implemented into my ad campaigns for clients and for myself that's done really well. And it goes against something I used to preach, but then again, we're still only going to stick to this one method. We'll talk about that in a minute. But yeah, you guys need to know about those updates, and then we'll also talk about how you can actually, avoid getting hurt by that, being hurt by the change in the newsfeed algorithm. Basically, if you guys haven't seen, they have decreased the amount of organic reach that you're going to get with your Facebook ad, or not Facebook ads, but your Facebook posts. So we'll talk about that. There's a lot of good to that, but there's also some downside to that. So we'll talk about that tonight, guys. Kirby, what's going on? Thanks for hopping on. We'll be taking your course soon. Just started my LLC. Fabian, can't wait to have you inside, man. We're growing very, very quickly. 2018 has already been super good to us, so that's why we're launching this mentorship program, which if you guys haven't heard about, we're launching that February 7th, I believe. Is that right, Ted?
Yep.
Yeah, February 7th, we're launching the mentorship program. So if you guys want 50% off your first month, we're offering that. It's at our Facebook page, just in the description below. Click on my business Facebook page. There's 2 links down there. Well, actually, there's like 3 or 4 links down there that are related to Facebook, but one of them is for my Facebook business page. One of them is for the free help group. And then 2 other ones, I believe, are down there for training purposes. So free training for you guys. But just so you guys know, you need to go to my business Facebook page. That's down there under social media links, and you can click offers. Hey, Jamie. But you can click offers, and that will give you the promo code for $50 or 50% off, $50 off, because the monthly mentorship is $100 a month. But we've got some people in. Like Justin said, smash that like button if you enjoy this kind of content. We're going to go ahead and get started talking about these updates and some things you guys need to be aware of moving forward for the rest of this year. So you guys, obviously, if you pay any attention if you don't pay attention to news updates and Facebook's news stream where they release content about changes they're making to their platform, you guys really need to check that out. You can go over to facebook.com or business.facebook.com and check out their resources section. They have newsletters and stuff that they put out all the time. You guys can get subscribed to that, so that way you guys know what's going on in their world before it even comes out in press releases and stuff like that. So get involved there. But outside of that, if you have heard, you know that the algorithm has changed, right? So that means what? It means basically that as a business page, all right, so this doesn't have anything to do with your personal profile. This is with regards to a business page. Whenever you post something to a business page now, it's less likely to show up on a normal person like you and me. It's less likely to show up on our Facebook page. All right. Why did Facebook do this? Well, the purpose of Facebook, you have to understand, how does Facebook make money? How do they monetize? They are a social media platform first, which means that, excuse me, if they don't provide an experience that their users appreciate, then no one's going to use their platform, right? Same thing with search engines. Why do people use Google? Because they provide the best search engine results, right? That's really why most people use Google. It's because as far as search engines go, they do a better job at providing results to a specific search that you're performing on Google. That's really, how SEO plays a part into the whole marketing campaign. But outside of that, Facebook, they wanted to update their platform. They noticed that people were getting tired of all of the ads that were coming across. And you guys have probably noticed this. All right, say yes down in the comments below if you've noticed that there have been way too many ads, like promotional videos, all that crap coming into your news feed, and it's all the time. You hardly ever see a friend posting on Facebook anymore, right? Well, that's what Mark Zuckerberg, being the very intelligent business owner that he is, realized. He said, all right, well, we're getting a lot of business posts here, a lot of business engagement, which is great as far as revenue is concerned for our business, but as far as it being a continually growing model that our customers, our end users will appreciate, how's that going to work out? So that's where they decided to make the change, and they changed up the algorithm. They used to say that about 6% was the organic reach. So for example, if you had 100 people who liked your page, 6 people would be shown that post, which is still really, really small. So that's really the thing that you have to also understand. They may have changed the algorithm, but it was already super, super small to begin with. So it's not that big of a difference. People do how they do with media. They like to, blow things out of proportion. But it does make a difference in the sense that you will be shown to less people in general. All right. And for people like Unilad, for businesses like, the Lad Bible, these big pages on Facebook that they're just media pages that all they do is post and repost video. And they're showing, videos to people on a daily basis. They'll post 3 to 4 videos and they'll get, a few million views per video. They're losing out on a good, 10, 15, maybe even 20% of their traffic from organic traffic. So you have to understand a few different things that you can do with your business to actually make sure you're still able to get results for your marketing campaign. So let me pull up my notes really quick. Okay. So what we're going to talk about is some ways that you can still get decent reach, decent organic search results or ad results or marketing results really from Facebook marketing without having to necessarily spend. So one thing I want to point out to people is you should start asking your clients' customers, so people who follow your clients' business pages, you should start asking them to start following, as opposed to not, you want them to obviously like the page, but you also want them to follow you too. All right, if you guys haven't noticed, there's a follow option on Facebook now, and follow means you want to see their updates. You want to know about the updates this business has. Another thing you can start doing is even putting this into your campaigns, which, it's something we're going to start doing on our end, but there is actually an option when you click that following button. When you click it, it'll show you 3 different options. It'll show you see first, default, and then unfollow. So you can unfollow that person. You can also turn notifications on for events or just in general, and then you can turn it all off. So what you can start to do is, start to say, and this is actually something you'll start to hear me say in my YouTube videos and my live videos, but follow me, and then go to my Facebook page, and you can click that little following button, and then you can click see first. That way you're always notified when we update our page with content that we feel is going to be useful for you and your business. You can do that same approach with your clients. Start branding that into their marketing campaigns, encouraging people to start following you, and then to select that see first option, so that way you don't have to necessarily spend ad dollars to every person that engages with your page. All right. Another thing you have to do in 2018 is just more live content. People enjoy and appreciate a natural feel to a video. That's why you guys hop on my live videos. Outside of the fact that you get to, engage directly with me and ask me questions directly, you get to see what I'm like. You get to, interact with me and see me fuck up and do it on accident or on purpose, whatever. I don't do everything perfectly when I'm on live, because it's live. I don't have room for error here, or really there is no room for mistake where you guys won't see it, right? So you guys understand that when you see that video, psychologically you're processing it as, okay, that's a real person, it's not just a business. And that's what you're doing when you do live content via Facebook or YouTube, like we're doing right now. It adds more character. It adds a person to the brand, or it adds a face to the brand. So start adding those, little tweaks to your campaigns, and start making sure that you're actually doing some live content, no matter what the business is. I have a customer, and that's the thing. A lot of business owners will tell you, oh, we just don't like getting in front of the camera. That's fine, Mr. Business Owner, but you have to understand that for you to remain relevant, from a marketing perspective in this day and age, people want that. And that's okay if you mess up. It's okay if you're a goofball. I'm a goofball on camera. That's what I literally tell my customers. I'm like, look, you guys can go watch my channel right now. I'm a complete goof on the channel. Like half the time I'm just doing weird stuff, and that's just who I am. But my viewers appreciate that, and they appreciate the fact that I'm a real person and not just someone trying to put on a show the whole time. Does that make sense? So you guys make sure you're starting to implement live content into your campaigns. And if you haven't noticed, what people are doing now, they're taking that live content and they're repurposing it for ad campaigns and for ad content. So live content makes some of the best content for ad campaigns because they can see other people that actively engaged in that conversation that was going on, and people who might even have the same questions that they had, right? Let me get my leg off my desk. It's making the camera bounce. Sorry, guys. All right, so more Facebook Live videos. And then the last part that I really want to go over that's super important is invest in Facebook groups. So one thing that we do with Serial Entrepreneur Academy, we're implementing it with our clients as well, is building community pages or group pages, right? So you know what a group page is for, but how can you utilize that to gather information, to gather sales, to get people to engage with a brand? Well, number one, if you go to my actual free, my SMMA Facebook help group or whatever, if you go to that group, it's down in the description below. You can click on that, and if you scroll through the page, you'll actually see where my personal business, my Serial Entrepreneur business page is attached on that actual page. I don't know if it shows on mobile, but I know on desktop it shows right there the Jordan Steen Serial Entrepreneur business page. So that's a cool feature. Number two is it gives a place for my potential customers. Even if you haven't bought from me, if you're in that group, you get to see me post to that group every single time. Why? Because I'm an admin of that group. It is basically a push notification every time you want to notify someone of a specific thing going on with your business. So you as the admin get to kind of monitor, what content people get to see. The other side of it is it's a free resource that they get to use to engage with your brand. So, for example, let's make this applicable to a real world experience. So if we have a real estate agent, one thing that I'm actually doing with one of my real estate agents is we're creating a community page. So it's called, we just started it like 2 days ago, it's called Living in Kennesaw. And it's a specific area. Again, they're real estate agents, and they focus heavily in the Kennesaw area. So we want to, target people in the Kennesaw area to start engaging with them. So how do we do that? Well, we're going to create a community page that their whole organization runs and manages, and they're just going to upload content about stuff going on in Kennesaw, events happening this week and this month, favorite places to eat, and then you encourage people to start engaging there and asking other questions. You invite all your friends and all of their friends who live in the area, and it creates a community of people who have an interest in each other and a vested interest in each other. This is a proven method. Trust me when I say this. There is this lady who, when I was running my detailing business that I sometimes talk about with you guys, when I was running that business, I met this lady back where I lived who started a page, and you guys can actually go look it up if you want. I mean, it's not going to be anything relevant to you guys because you don't live in that area, but it's called Life in the Peachtree City Bubble. And all that page does is it provides a space for everybody who lives in the Peachtree City area to come together and ask questions, who they recommend for their favorite nail salon in Peachtree City. And somebody will come on there and ask that, and then the community responds with recommendations. All right, so this is a way for you to actually monitor that conversation, kind of push conversation in a specific direction. And then not only that, but it highlights the admins as key people in that group. So people start to get to know who the admin is. The admin can post pictures like, hey, just closed a big house today, super pumped about it. And that would be something that, that whole group gets to finally learn about that person. Oh, I didn't know so-and-so sold houses. Let me go check out their stuff and see what they do. A person who is ready to buy and primed to buy right then would do that. Another idea that you could do, and again, for the real estate industry, you could create a DIY home projects group and just focus it on people in the Atlanta area. You don't even have, or whatever area it is you're focusing on, you don't even have to make it specific to that area, but that helps obviously if you have a specific geographical area. But guys, you get what I'm saying. You have to find some way to utilize Facebook groups to start pushing a community to get them to engage with each other, but outside of each other to engage again back with your business. So I hope you guys understand the importance of that. Facebook groups are seriously, like with our Facebook group, we've probably, been able to increase sales, I'd say at least 10 to 15% just from running our Facebook group, because it gives me another way to push people to another stream of content that I'm putting out that they can relate with and that they can, engage with and share with other people. Justin is asking me, do you use an auto poster for your clients' pages as well, so you can schedule them ahead of time, such as Hootsuite, Buffer, etc., or do you just outsource most of the work? If so, what do you use or recommend? So yes, I use auto posting software. Most of the time, some platforms you have to basically set it up manually. You can actually schedule posts in Facebook groups, so that's another good thing. If you're trying to create a community page, you can schedule posts there just as you can in any other platform. But yes, I do use auto posters, and I outsource a lot of my, actually 100% of my social media management. And the reason being is because to the time it takes to create copy, to create images, quick little video snippets, that's a lot of time. It takes a ton of time to do that type of service, and you're not making money when you're doing that. The ad spend side of things is really where you actually start to generate money. The social media side of it is more just creating content, which, yes, it leads into sales and money, but you have to understand that the more important side of it is getting leads to come to your page. To do that, you have to understand how to work Facebook ads. So I do use auto posters. I personally use Hootsuite. I also, again, yes, I outsource the work. Justin, if you have potential, or if you have clients that you want to start outsourcing with now, I have the perfect VA for you guys to use. They even do engagement posting or engagement ads on Facebook. They do it for free, so they don't even charge a percentage of ad spend. Really, really cool deal, really unique agency that I work with. They're an agency, so this is all they do is manage social media management accounts, and they do some SEO as well. So super interesting. If you guys are interested in finding out who that team is, I'm more than willing to share them with you. But I will let you know, you have to be ready to spend $330 before they'll actually even talk to you. If you're not ready to start spending on a client right now, they don't take people who aren't serious. They only deal with serious work because they get tons of requests to be worked with every single day. So if you have that $330 and you want to start, outsourcing that work for a client now, go ahead and shoot me out a message on Facebook, and I'll make that introduction for you. But outside of that, just let me know whenever you're ready, if you're not ready now, and we'll get you set up when you are ready. Sorry, I gotta hang now. All right. So let me see. Oh, last quick thing that I wanted to talk to you guys about with regards to Facebook marketing and Facebook ads that I never thought I'd catch myself saying, but I'm going to do it. And a lot of you are probably going to be like, what? But I tested it and it worked. So remember when I told you guys not to use the Facebook boost post? Yeah, well, that was a lie. So I think they've changed either how it works. Actually, no, I know for a fact they've changed how it works. The amount of customization that you get with Facebook boost posting now is a little different. But let me caution you, okay? You don't want to use it for every single type of post, okay? There are only specific times when you want to use the boost post option, all right? So let me clarify that. When you use the boost post option, what I found works the best is when you're trying to engage with people who already have liked your page. So if you've worked in the ads manager or the backend platform for business, for Facebook business, you know that you can target people who have engaged with a page, people who have engaged with a specific post, but I can't for the life of me find a place to engage with people who have specifically just liked the page or like the page and their friends. I believe it might be at the bottom. I could just be overlooking it. I tend to do that sometimes with Facebook Ads Manager. I'm sure you guys have overlooked stuff too. But the boost post option for as far as targeting people who have a specific interest in your product already because they've liked your page, that option has actually worked out really well for me. We tried testing a few different audiences using the boost post option and just targeting people who like the page versus engaging with people who have engaged with our page before. And the ads that we ran for the boost post option actually outperformed the ads that were running that were pretty much the same as the ads that we were running for the boost post option. So really cool little technique there. I honestly didn't think that I would ever say that, but they've been doing some work to upgrade that feature and make it more functional. I also think that the boost post option helps get it out more instantaneously, as opposed to where if you're doing it on the back end, they take time to, you've seen it now if you've spent recently, they have a learning phase where your ad will go through a process of learning what about each specific user that engaged with that post, basically learning each little piece of information about that person and then trying to incorporate it into the continuation of your campaign. So that was a pretty big thing for me. Again, I never thought I would say that that was even close to true, but it was pretty interesting to test and pretty interesting to see. But yeah, that's basically it. So before we get out of here, guys, I want to leave a few minutes for you guys to ask me questions. This is that time. If you have any questions about scaling your agency, Facebook ads, anything that we just discussed that you want to talk about, if you have questions about my course or our monthly mentorship program we're about to launch, consultations, anything like that. If you guys have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments section below as I wrap it up, and then I'll get to you at the very end. So right now we're just going to do our announcements, guys. Outside of that, if you haven't, again, we mentioned in the beginning, our monthly mentorship program launches February 7th. Get 50% off your first month in the program. You got to check it out. I'm telling you, you guys are going to love this training. It is live training with me 4 times a month. 4 times a month. And excuse me. 4 times a month, and you get access to all of those trainings. So every training that you've been in the course for, you get access to all of those trainings. So everything that you miss, all of the prior trainings, you won't get access to those. But everything that you join in, and then everything past that, you will get all access to all of those. You'll be able to download them, keep them forever. How much to charge for small restaurants? Slick Society, my recommendation is don't go after... Oh, I'm looking over here. The camera's right here. Slick Society, my recommendation is don't go after small restaurants. You don't want to go after someone... And I literally just got off a call. We did that free consultation giveaway. I just got off the phone with one of the winners for that. But he wanted to talk about closing sales and stuff like that. And really, he said he was getting the meetings. He was just having an issue closing the deal. And it came down, really, once I did an analysis of what he was doing, it came down to the fact that he wasn't targeting qualified businesses. He wasn't talking to the people who were going to purchase something, or who were actually capable of purchasing something from him. And that's a big issue. Why? Well, if you're going into a business and they only have $500 to spend, you're not going to be able to get them to spend $1,000. So, how and where to outsource web design. Kafori, get with me after this video. Shoot me a message on Facebook. I have a web developer I can put you in touch with. I actually have a few I can put you in touch with. They're very, very good at what they do. If you have a job specifically that you want to get them to do, let me know. And we can go ahead and get you working with them. Excuse me, goodness. But let me see, where was I at with my announcements? I think I covered that question. Just don't go after small restaurants. My rule for restaurants, if you guys really want to know the golden rule, make sure they have at least 3 locations. If they have at least 3 locations, then generally they're able to afford at least $1,000 a month. But again, let me stress this to you guys, because people don't seem to want to understand this no matter how many times I say it. So look at me. Look at me. You're looking in the camera right now. Look at me. Do not take a freaking customer if they are not willing to spend $1,000 a month. You guys understand? Do not take a customer if they're not going to spend $1,000. It's not worth your time. You won't make any money. It's going to cause you hassle. You're going to end up doing 10 times more work than you even signed up to do. You're going to do more work for that $500 customer than you would even if they would have paid you $1,000 probably. That's just how it always ends up working. Do not sell yourself short. Know your value, understand your value, and don't settle because you need the money. All right, spend more time finding qualified leads, and you won't have to go after or won't even have to deal with those customers who basically, have the $500 budget and that's it. William Ballard said, "Dear Serial, why are you so awesome?" Um, I can't tell if that's sarcasm or not, but if it's not, I don't know, man. I just try to do my best.
Awesome.
What legal stuff should I know before I get clients? So basically, I mean, there's not a lot of legal things that you need to be worried about. Basically, have your business license set up for your state and your local city. Have your tax identification number taken care of. Have a bank account set up, and you're set. Like, that's it. Get your business license, get filed in your state, get filed in your city, get a tax identification number. Boom, you're legal. Outside of that, the only legal implications you'll have are if you work with financial clients or insurance clients, people who are very heavily regulated with regards to content, what they can and can't say to sell something, tobacco, drugs, alcohol, all that stuff. You can't, go out there and just start, hey, $10 off a pack of cigarettes. Not going to work. You're going to get fined. So outside of that, as long as you're not in a heavily regulated industry, you should be fine with advertising. But as far as starting the business is concerned, again, just those 4 parts. Which industry should I target for my first client if you were in my shoes, no experience? Fabian, my advice to you is to find something you're passionate about to work with at first. Actually, let me rephrase that. Find industries that are higher ticket. Try to avoid the ones that are like seriously, if you're going out to a VCR repair store to try and sell them digital marketing, if you can't figure out what's wrong with that scenario, then you don't know what the hell you're doing. All right, VCRs are out of date. They're not selling. No one's getting a VCR repaired. You couldn't have God touch that campaign with his God-given hand and make it do something miraculous. Like, it just will not happen. You can't sell VCRs anymore. So understand what you're working with. Go after industries that are going to be profitable. They're going to make money for you. They're going to do well with regards to marketing online and marketing a product. It needs to be a product that you believe in, or a service that you believe in. So does that make sense? Find something that you are passionate about or have some sort of motivation behind. That's why I chose restaurants. Not necessarily that I have a passion for restaurants, but I did work in the restaurant industry when I was in college for about 5 years. I managed a restaurant. I managed a kitchen. I started off as a chef. I started off as a dish boy. If Jamie's still on the thing, she'll tell you that. She got me my first job at a kitchen as a dish boy. Like, you guys, you work with something that you understand because it helps you do better with the marketing campaign. If you know how to talk to the business owner, that's the thing. I can talk to any restaurant owner and say, oh yeah, your back of house costs are way too high. You should probably take that down. Or your front of house operations, if you could improve this process, you could easily bring in more customers because they'd be more satisfied with the customer service you're getting. Stuff like that. The more you understand about an industry, the better off you are with regards to marketing that particular business. So that's my recommendation there. What about doing this for free in the beginning so you can gain experience? All right. Free, you have to be careful with, because they start with free. If you start marketing for someone for free, they start to expect something specific. And then when you actually go to charge them the full campaign, they're like, oh my God, you're charging me how much? Because they were used to free. Be super careful with free. With free, that's why I stick to the digital marketing audit, maybe a free logo, maybe some other type of graphic design that's easy and cheap that doesn't require monthly updates. Basically, if it requires monthly work, monthly marketing services, that kind of stuff, you don't want to offer that service for free. In my opinion, it's just not what you want to offer for free. Stick to free value in the form of strategy sessions, consultations, marketing audits, catering events, purchasing lunch for them, giving them free lunch. It doesn't just have to be necessarily free digital marketing value. It has to be value. If it's valuable to that person, then it makes sense. What methods would you recommend to improve the presentation fluidity? During the proposal meeting, example, body language, meeting setting, word usage, etc. So during the meeting or during the proposal, the biggest thing, and I preach this in my course, I preach it all the time on this channel, you have to keep the wording you use, the descriptions you use, very basic. So when it comes to things like the Facebook pixel, you don't want to go into detail about the Facebook pixel. Keep it very high level. Tell them this, basically, you can say the word pixel, okay, doesn't mean you can't say the word pixel, but just understand, say something like, the Facebook pixel allows us to add a tool to your website that we can use to target everybody who has a Facebook page. So basically, Mr. Business Owner, if someone has a Facebook page and they visit your website, we now have the ability to send them more ads on Facebook. Now, why is that important? It is a proven fact that if someone visits your website, they're about 80% more likely to purchase than someone who viewed an ad and didn't go to your website. That's it. It's something as simple as that. You take it and you break it down to where they can understand it. Outside of that, when we talked about earlier how Facebook's ad platform, how that could be a good thing, that they're lowering organic reach. Well, what does that mean for you? It means that if you find a business that isn't spending on the Facebook ad platform, then they have no reason or even posting on that platform, right? So that means you have an in. Okay, well, Mr. Business Owner or Mrs. Business Owner, I see that you aren't spending any money on Facebook ads. Is that right? Yeah, but you guys are paying for someone to manage your page. Isn't that right? Yeah. Well, I don't know if you're aware of this. I just wanted to make you aware in case you weren't, but Facebook changed their algorithm earlier this year, and what that means for businesses is kind of bad. Basically, what they did was there's this thing called organic reach. Now, basically all organic reach is the amount of people that see your ad or see your post on Facebook without you having to pay for it, right? So then what you have to do is say, so, you're posting and you're spending all this money to get posts done on Facebook, but in reality, no one's seeing those posts anymore because of the fact that they changed up the way the newsfeed works. So if you're not spending on Facebook, that kind of sucks because you're just spending all this money to create posts that no one's going to see. So we have to start spending something on Facebook. It's a tool right there that you guys can use to sell and close a deal and to at least get you in the door. Maybe if it's just with Facebook ads to start, that's okay, as long as you can get in the door somewhere and show them some results. Gotcha. I used to slave in those restaurants too. Yep, it's definitely some slave labor, I'll tell you that much. I was working 70-hour weeks. It was not fun. What book would you recommend reading for a new entrepreneur starting out? Hey, Kirby, I think you're going to love this video I'm putting together next week. I'm going to give you one book now, but I actually just shot a video yesterday that goes over 7 different resources that are books, training, stuff like that you guys must have as an entrepreneur, a digital marketer, stuff like that. So make sure to pay attention. That video is coming out next week. I believe it's coming out on Friday of next week, so y'all stay tuned for that video if you're looking for some more educational material. But what book would I recommend for a new entrepreneur starting out? I think one of the most, that's the thing. An entrepreneur book, I think those are more broad. So an entrepreneur starting out needs to understand the basics of running a business. And a lot of that comes down to understanding how to work with people. So one of the best books I can recommend is one of the greatest of all time. It's called How to Win Friends and Influence People. That book right there is easily one of my favorites. That one, and one of my other favorites is Thank You for Arguing. Both of these books are all about how to work with people, how to hold conversations, how to persuade people, how to get them to follow you. And this goes into not only selling, but creating content, creating marketing strategy, creating content strategy. These books go into more than just entrepreneurship and how to be a successful entrepreneur. It gets you in the mindset of what you need to do to improve and to continually figure out how you can work to where you take what people you take issues that people have, you take conversations that people have, and you turn it into basically food that you feed this big growing giant of potential customers is what I like to look at it as. And eventually that growing giant turns into a massive following of engaged and loyal customers who then push your product for you. So, again, to sum that up, basically, How to Win Friends and Influence People, really, really great book for entrepreneurs. Super interesting. Definitely something you're going to want to check out. And if you've already read that, then read Thank You for Arguing. Really great book, all about rhetoric. Actually, I know for a fact, I just got off, like I said, I got off that consultation call with that one of the contest winners, and he actually was required to read Thank You for Arguing for his law degree. I think he was trying for his law degree, or he got his law degree, something like that. But they made him read Thank You for Arguing in his law degree because it's all about rhetoric, all about the art of working your way through a conversation. So if you guys are having trouble closing customers, that book is for you. It teaches you how to work around customers' objections to get, the end result, which is a sale. But yeah, Fabian said Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Of course, that's a good one. Robert Kiyosaki definitely knows what he's talking about as well. William Ballard, do you think it's better to make your LLC's title? I'm guessing William was being serious when he said I'm awesome, because he asked another question and he wouldn't have said. So I'm just going to say thanks, William. Even if you weren't serious, I think I'm awesome. No, I'm kidding. Do you think it's better to make your LLC's title using your name in it to build your brand, or something else in case you may end up with any sort of legal issues? So there's two ways to look at this. Number one, is that LLC just going to be a parent company that you're doing a DBA, doing business as? Are you going to use a different name? Because that's the thing. You can have a name and then you can have a DBA, which is you're doing business as a specific name. So, really there aren't a ton of legal issues with naming and stuff like that unless there's already another business out there that exists with that name. And even then, they would have to be at a national or international level for it to even matter to them. Outside of that, you can pretty much have the same name as another business as long as they're not in the same state with you, if that makes sense for you guys. So if you have issues, talk to a lawyer, talk to somebody. I know there's these lawyer services now. You can talk to a lawyer for like 30 minutes on the phone and get legal advice, and it's only like $15 or $20, something like that. If you have this issue, do that. Make that investment. It's worth it, because it'll save you the thousands of dollars you'll spend in legal fees later. Can I repeat the titles again, please? What titles? Oh, the titles of the books. How to Win Friends and I'm going to put it in the comments section. How to Win Friends and Influence People. And then Thank You for Arguing. Thank You for Arguing. Seriously, guys, if you haven't read that one, a lot of people haven't heard of that one or read that one. But if you haven't, that book is really, really well written. It's really funny, really engaging. It uses examples of Aristotle, Homer Simpson, and what was the other one? It's blanking on me now. Plato? I don't think it was Plato. I think it was another... I can't remember who the third person was. It's based off of three different people or characters. But the first two are Aristotle and Homer Simpson. I think the other one, I can't remember. But if you guys look at the book, you'll see it. But it's a really great book, and it talks about how these people, how the writers basically for Homer Simpson, or how Homer in the actual show itself was able to manipulate his way through situations. That's really what the book is about, manipulation. If you want me to be straight up, it's about how to manipulate people to make them do what you want them to do for you. Because that's seriously what the first chapter, or the intro to the book, it opens up where the guy's talking about how he did a study where he was just trying to get his wife to do things that he wanted him to do, and he would do that by trying to outsmart her via conversation, via rhetoric. So seriously, a really good book to understand how to work around situations with people when they're telling you no. Let me see. Jaquez, I think. When first registering your LLC, what should you be more concerned with? Learning to sell your services or content creation? When first registering your LLC, really what you should have said is when you're first starting your business. But when you're first starting your business, neither of those things are important. The most important thing you can do is understand digital marketing. The 5 pieces, if you haven't seen this video yet, again, this video is on my YouTube channel. You guys can go check that out. It's the 5 pieces to a successful digital marketing agency. I believe that's what it's titled. But we talk about the 5 big pieces of digital marketing, which are SWEPS. That's my acronym. You guys hashtag SWEPS in places so people can find. It'll be the next SMMA. I promise you it will one day. But SWEPS, what does that mean? Social media marketing, web marketing, email marketing, pay-per-click, and SEO, or social, whichever one I didn't say with an S. So those are the 5 pieces of digital marketing right there. If you don't understand those 5 pieces, you're not going to be able to sell your services. I promise you that. If you don't know the 5 pieces of digital marketing inside and out and how they work together to create a marketing campaign, you will not sell a service. And if you do, you'll lose that customer within the first month, because then you'll go to actually do the campaign and you won't even know where to start. So understanding the 5 pieces of digital marketing, how they work together, and then outside of that, you said what should be learning to sell your services or create content. Outside of that, you have to be able to sell your services, and then once you sell your services, so really you have to be able to do all of it, man. That's the big thing. You have to be able to do all of it. So the biggest thing you can do, SWEPS plus C, content. So the biggest thing you can do, man, is get educated. Find a mentor, get in as many courses as possible, watch as many free YouTube videos as possible, listen to as many podcasts as possible. Once you have a grasp on digital marketing, the selling it part is easy. That's what I was telling this to the one of the kids I was talking to earlier today. All right, he may not be a kid, whatever. You guys get what I'm saying. We were talking about it, and I was telling him, I was like, hey, did you see the video that I put together on on YouTube? It was about me using Facebook Messenger to land clients. And he was like, yeah. So I talked to him, I was like, so look, I sent out 40 messages to 40 different businesses. It was a templated message. Sent out 40 different messages. Out of those 40, 4 people respond. So what's that, 10%? Out of that 10%, I got 2 of them to actually meet with me. And out of that 2 that met with me, I closed them both. So that's a 100% close rate. All right, so you have to understand it's going to take time, but I know what I'm talking about. I know how to make that business owner see and visualize what their campaign could look like if I was running it for them, what their sales could look like. That's what you guys have to do. It's called PTP, painting the picture. If you guys aren't painting the picture for that person, you're not giving them a visualization of what it could look like to be working with you. So focus on all of those. Focus on at least understanding how it works. And that's another thing. The second, because I did 2 consultation calls tonight. The second call, we talked with Monica. Monica, we kind of talked about strategy and what to do with her business to scale. What I told her was this, guys. You don't have to become an expert in each individual field. So when I say become an expert in digital marketing, that means understand all of the major pieces of digital marketing with regards to SWEPS. But at the same time, you have to understand that you're not going to be able to become a pro in PPC, in email marketing, in CRMs, in Google Analytics, in Facebook ads, in Facebook marketing, Instagram marketing, LinkedIn. There's way too many pieces. You're not going to be able to become a pro videographer, a pro video editor, a pro photographer or photo editor. You just can't. It's impossible for you to do all of that work. I'm not a pro in all of those areas. I know what I'm doing in all of those areas. I know how they play together. I know how they work together. So I'm able to build campaigns. But outside of that, I take what I call and what a lot of people know as the Donald Trump approach. And, put political issues aside, the Donald Trump approach, if you guys are aware of it, it is literally just finding people who are smarter than you to do a job for you, and then paying them what they're worth plus some. That's it. You find someone who knows how to do the job and do it well, and you outsource that work to that person so you can focus on what you're good at. You're not going to be good at everything. Find out what you're good at, maximize how much output you're putting into that specific skill, and then find the ones that you're not good at and have other people do those. I'm not good at organizing. I'm not an organizer. Some people tell me I'm good at organizing, and when they tell me that, I laugh. I don't do that. So I've hired someone who can organize documentation, sending out emails to new customers and current customers, organizing my week so that way I know what's going on my schedule for a day and for a weekly basis, whether it's content or whether that's my day-to-day work activity. That kind of stuff is what I'm not good at, so I have someone do it for me. You guys have to know what you're good at and then capitalize on that. Outside of that, find people who can do what you're not good at and make sure that they're good at what they say they're good at. That's it. So I said this was going to go 30 minutes tonight. We went an extra 15 minutes. I hope you guys have enjoyed all of this content. If you did, please do me one big favor, guys. If you have enjoyed anything that I've said in this video tonight, please hit that like button so that way other people can view this video content. Leave a comment in the section below if you have more questions after I hop off, and I'll make sure to hop back on at some other point and answer those questions for you. Again, we're launching our monthly mentorship program February 7th. Get 50% off that course or that program. All you have to do is go to my Facebook business page, click See Offers, and you can get the promo code to that offer. Outside of that, if you guys want to see an ebook, I'm thinking, so I was actually talking to Ted about it not too long ago, literally before we hopped on this call. I'm thinking about writing an ebook, one for selling, one for prospecting, one prospecting and landing clients, one for building proposals. If you guys would like to see those ebooks, let me know in the comments section after we close. Don't do it in this live video because it'll remove it. Wait until we close this video off, and on the comment section for this video, on the replay, leave some ideas for book content that you would like to read or ebook content that you would consider reading from me. And again, the topics I'm wanting to consider: prospecting, basically landing new clients, selling in general, and then building proposals, closing the deal. If you guys want to see some content on that, let me know in the comments section below. Outside of that, guys, I really hope you've appreciated everything we did on this video. It's all for you guys, and it's because I love you guys, and you love me, and we all love each other. Okay, cool. See everything in the description below. I will see you guys on the next video, but until next time. Oh, and one last thing before we hop off. We have a cool video uploading tomorrow to YouTube, so make sure you stay tuned for that. It'll be coming out around 2 or 3 o'clock. Until next time, guys, Serial Entrepreneur out. Okay. Deuces.